just sit there, bask in the euphoria. Thank you so much, Canadian Film Festival! Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Canadian Film Fest Q&A. I'm here with my co-host, Ashley Rains, our co-programmer.
Hi, everyone.
And we're also here with the casting crew from BUZZARD, the short film that opened up tonight's screening. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
You want to maybe we'll start with Joy and start introducing yourselves?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joy Webster. I am the co-writer and director of BUZZARD.
And I'm Ben O'Neill, and I was the other co-writer on the short film.
I'm Lucas. I'm the producer of BUZZARD.
And I'm Alana, and I play Hannah in BUZZARD.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. And I I like your introductions because you guys, probably all of you lopped off half of your other credits, right? Because Joy, you were also the editor. Ben, you must have done a bunch of the producing, maybe some art. Were you in charge of the art?
Yeah, art director, yeah.
Art directed, right? Like everybody, that's one of the things I love about indie filmmakers, and especially when you're making a short film, is everybody does a little bit of everything. So, so is that basically how it was on your set?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the rest of the crew can attest that I have a little bit of a control issue sometimes. I'm sure my friends and family are laughing at this right now, but yeah, I mean, it also comes down to just like available funds, available resources sometimes as well. So luckily we had such an amazing crew and cast as well, and a lot of people are so multi-talented, and we're able to kind of work together and get the best bang for our buck, basically.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. And Ashley, you were asking me, we were talking about the movie about how much of it is autobiographical, right? Ashley, you were like, is this a true story? Or
well, our team was talking today where I think about 50% of our team had an experience very similar, or a job, a part-time job like the one in the film, your character, Alana. So where did the story come from?
How true is it?
Well, it is partially autobiographical.
I knew it.
I am Alana in the film. Yeah, very, very briefly, I had like a door-to-door job with like a water, like basically the company in the film, only for a few days before I figured out sort of what was going on. But yeah, super bizarre period in my life. Like the pep talks we would have like every morning before they drove us out to a suburb and like dropped us off for the next 8 or 9 hours.
Oh my God.
It was just like a very, very strange week in my life.
Sorry, Alana, you didn't know that?
Okay, this also, we filmed this a very long time ago, so this information, it's jogging my memory now. But yeah, okay, so you guys were actually left in the middle of nowhere for 9 hours straight in like blazing sun.
Yeah, I think they were like, when the sun sets, we'll call you. That was like the consensus.
One of my favorite scenes though is when your character Alana, she just goes like in the car, she refuses to participate in the rehearsal of like the pitch, and you can just see it on her face. She's like, I'm not doing this. And then after like a couple unsuccessful attempts, she's sitting in the park on the swing set smoking a cigarette, and she's like, hi.
Gotta practice. I mean, you have to make money, so I think at that point, yeah, she was like, I need to get that commission, may as well practice.
Yeah.
So did you interrupt somebody, Ben, who was like suicidal or something? Or how true?
I probably should have clarified that. No,
okay.
that was added for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
But I did interrupt someone with a train set, so there was that.
There was a train set.
Not quite as impressive as the one in the film, but it was still pretty good.
How did you, that actually popped up out to me, because it was actually a really detailed, amazing train set. And you obviously, you don't have the budget to get that made for your thing. So do you just know somebody who has that detailed of a train. Lucas, did you like source that out yourself, or?
Well, I mean, yeah, we had like an extensive search, but it was really Joy who found Trevor Marshall, who was like one of the saving graces for our film. He graciously had this train set that Joy met through, I think, what was it, a blog? And we found a time to meet up with him, and it was so perfect. And he also just was so gracious to allow us to use his house, and just really became a part of the film in a lot of ways. And so big shout out to Trevor and his wife.
Yes, we love Trevor. Thank you so much, Trevor,
Yeah.
for watching. Like, so supportive. And yeah, it was kind of a crazy, like, it took so long to track him down. And I kind of like got into this spiral of like train guy blogs, and learned about this whole subculture about obviously like model train enthusiasts. And a lot of them have blogs, and they all kind of like link to each other's blogs. So I just started going through this like spiral of train guy blogs, and luckily found Trevor, who was in downtown Toronto, which was like a huge that was like such a good plus for us. And yeah, he just turned out to be like the nicest, most supportive guy, and we definitely could not have done it without him. So
Yeah, and to this, he's like still very supportive of the film. And I remember on his blog, he wrote about the film, and when we finished the film, we needed a little bit more money to kind of raise on our Indiegogo. And I remember like he shared it on his blog, and we would get miscellaneous like train owner donations, and it's just incredible that he was able to kind of champion the film for us. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
We do have one question from internet land that I want to get to. Oh, this is quite nice for Joy. Joy is a cinematic force of nature, it reads. Whoa, it's true. It is true. I'm not even going to refute any of that. What's next for Joy and her team, and what she's working on, and can't wait to see what she's cooking up.
Wow.
Because let me before you say anything, Joy, I do want to let everybody know that Joy's first short film out of school was Game, and that won Best Short at our festival 2 years ago. And it was so good, and she's such a pleasure to be around with that we actually invited her to be on the jury last year. Wait, that was last year, right? Yeah, last year. And so what is next for you, Joy?
Wow, I'm so flattered. I mean, I hope that wasn't like a plant that someone whatever, but yeah.
No, apparently somebody really does like you.
Wow, well, thank you, whoever that is. What's next? Lucas and I have been in development on our first feature film. So we are currently, script has been written, a couple amazing actors have signed on to the project, but of course we're trying to get funding right now. So we are hoping to hear good news, and actually should be kind of any day in the next week or so. So yeah, but we'll definitely be making something new in hopefully the next couple years. So stay tuned, and hopefully it'll be on a bigger scale. So
awesome. Alana, what about you? What are you working on these days? What are you trying to get into?
And also, I just want to jump in before saying that, Alana, we also, on our team, we got several texts during the screening saying how phenomenal your performance is.
Oh,
so you have fans out there as well.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks. Up next, things are sort of up in the air because of what's going on in the world right now. So hopefully I'll be able to do it, but in 2021 I'm supposed to be doing a play at Mervish with Company Theater, doing a co-production, and I haven't done theater in, like, I graduated from Ryerson, the theater program, and I haven't done theater in probably like 7 years. So hopefully if theaters are going to be open in 2021, then I'll be doing that in February with Mervish. It's called Things Fall Apart.
That's awesome. That's great to hear.
That's great.
That's great to hear. Well, everybody, it's been such a pleasure having you here and back, and we do hope to see more from you in the future. Hopefully it's a feature. So
it will be a feature. Yeah,
it will be. Absolutely. But thank you so much, guys. That was really good. It's an honor to show Buzzard at the CFF this year. And thank you for sticking with us while we figured things out in the last couple of months. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much for your
you.
support.
No problem. Okay, to the audience out there, stick around. We're gonna the Q&A show is gonna be right back with the feature filmmakers from A Perfect Plan, and we'll just wave goodbye to everybody. So thank you, Buzzard people.
Thank you, Buzzard.
Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. We're here at the Canadian Film Fest Q&A. I'm Bern Euler. I'm the festival director. I'm here with my co-host, Ashley Rains.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, and we're here with the feature film casting crew today of A Perfect Plan, a great heist movie. So, first I'll say hello to Jesse. Jesse, how you doing? Can you you want to maybe introduce your team for us today?
Sure. Thank you so much for having us, Bern, and Ashley, and everybody at the festival and Super Channel for putting this on. Really, you guys saved the day with this. So, on behalf of myself and our whole team, thank you. With us today here, representing A Perfect Plan. I don't know the orientation of the grid, but on my left is Kathleen Monroe, Carla Rhoda, and producer Christopher Giroux.
Hi guys, so nice to have you guys here, and it was a pleasure seeing your film in the submissions and programming it. I'll tell you, as programmers, Ashley and I, this is totally not a slight to anybody, but we got a lot of features that are of a dark nature, and they're good, but when you get through your fifth movie about somebody who's lost everything, or in the first frame of the movie, it's like it's kind of kind of gets to you. But then A Perfect Plan came across my computer, and it was fun, it was cool, it was exciting, the cast is stacked, and we have so many questions for you. So first of all, it's like, how did you get this cast together, Jesse? How did that happen? Like, every single one of these people were just fantastic. I got to meet Carlo Rhoda. I mean, how cool is that?
It's a long and winding story, but the short answer is we had an amazing casting director, and when Kathleen, when we saw your audition, Kathleen, I remember, because we were looking at a lot of tapes at the time, and we were auditioning then the way we're auditioning right now, is on tape, and blew us away. And Kathleen, I think you were in LA at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
I was, yeah, and it was just a really nice alignment that we shot in my hometown of Hamilton. But when I got the job, I was in LA, and then I got to come home to do it.
Yeah, no, that was amazing. And then it was Bill Marks, our other producer, Bill Marks, who knew Carlo, had worked with Carlo before, and said we should get Carlo. And I was just thankful when Carlo said yes. So that was how that happened. And then William was just a classic. We called the agent. It was my first film, so we just called the agent. It was a cold call, and said, do you want to come on board? And then the rest just sort of happened piece by piece. But I'm truly thankful for all the cast that did come and join the film, because as a first-time filmmaker, I was punching above my weight, and
Wait,
thankful to have
sorry.
everybody there.
So actually didn't know that. This is your first feature?
It is, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It just looks so polished and like you knew what you were doing. That's amazing. That's really cool, Jesse. Wow. So are you a big fan of heist movies? Is that how you did this so well? And with that, as well as you made it different, especially with putting everybody in a room at the beginning and having to prove themselves or they die kind of scenario. That was like a big twist on the whole heist genre that I personally haven't seen before. So how was your approach to making a heist movie that had some freshness to it?
Well, to be honest with you, I think a lot of what you see on screen is the result of many people who collaborated on it. Chris Giroux, who worked with me, with us here, he's done so many films, indie films, and he had just coming in an immense amount of expertise. We had Pasha Patricki, our DP. We had truly an amazing executive in charge of production, George Mahalka, and then the cast. I mean, what you see is the cast, and that's what they brought. So everything that you see is really a result of Kathleen and Carlo and William and Gia and Michael Hawke's work, and and they're the anchor to this movie.
The performances are phenomenal in the film, and the actors work so well as an ensemble. Can Kathleen, Carlo, can you talk a little bit about your process? Like, how did you develop that relationship on screen with your crews on screen?
You want to go first, Kathleen?
Go for it. You go.
Okay. Well, I have to say that, for a film that had obviously some budget constraints, this film was a high watermark for me. I've worked on films that have 6 times the budget and a quarter less, a quarter as professional as this film. And there was a lot of open collaboration at the very beginning. I went out and had a few bites to eat, with Jesse when I first arrived back in Toronto, and he was very open to some ideas because ultimately I have made I don't know if you want to call it a career, let's just call it a pastime of playing bad guys on screen, and very often those bad guys have a very shallow trajectory. And so, I just wanted to make sure that this guy had some reason to be doing what he was doing. And Jesse was super open to that notion. We had a nice chat about it. We made some notes. Some of the notes he, zoomed into the film, others he didn't. But the point is that I felt like I was included. And it was a really interesting, like I flew in, I was working in Budapest at the time. It just happened to work out scheduling wise. I flew in, we shot, and I was really happy with it. I was so happy with being involved in the film and getting to know everyone. And, like I said, it was super professional crew and production. Hats off to Jesse and Christopher for that. It was really, really well done.
Yeah, that is one of the things I've seen, even as an editor myself, for example, and I've worked on movies. When I do work with somebody who just at least listens to me, don't have to put all of my notes in. Obviously, you're the director, but if you listen, then you're doing that with everybody else too. You're listening, and that does make it more of a team collaboration. And at the end, you are left with a better movie. And in this case, Jesse, to echo what Carlo was saying, I mean, when I ultimately heard what your budget was, I was like, oh, I thought it was 5 times that amount. Mm-hmm. You squeezed every penny that you had into making it look that much more slick.
Well, the truth is, he squeezed every penny.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was, Jesse and I met on a movie many years before doing A Perfect Plan, and kind of was in talks for about a year to try to do something together. And we sat down at a cafe in Toronto, and Jesse kind of soft pitched me on this idea of kind of like a Saw meets Saw meets heist movie, where these kind of people wake up and kind of have to do kind of a series of tasks to prove each other. And something that we discussed very earlier on in the process, even when Jesse was still kind of fleshing out the idea, was it was such a creative environment, both on set and off set. And Jesse kind of coined the term of a hive mind, like we were all working together to make the best film, whether it was the production assistant or one of the performers or whatever. We were all kind of in it together, and it felt like film summer camp. It was a great environment.
Totally, that's exactly what it felt like. And I think that it was a good alchemy. Like there was such, like Michael Hawk and Gia, like the group was so just like the energy was so good and so pure and so game. And also Jesse, I mean, like to set the tone with the kind of passion that you have for this type of movie was perfect. Like the first time that we got together, when I got to Toronto, we went out for brunch, and you gave me like a little lock picking set and a lock to practice, and it was just like just to kind of feel like you were including me in some shorthand in this genre, and like that was like the level of detail and passion that you have for this movie and for this whole genre of movies, that just became like, I think we all wanted to rise up to your level of passion for this. And yeah, Christopher, you're just like the best, like the best for what you did with the time that we had. And I mean, it was just the crew that you assembled, everything about it was like so highly professional and so cool and such a joy to go to work. Yeah, we got really lucky on this.
How many shooting days did you have?
I think it was 15 or 16, I think total.
It was, yeah, we had an extra day. There was one extra day at the end.
Maybe 17 then, maybe 17.
Yeah, the last day was the laser day.
Yeah.
The laser day. That
Yeah,
shot
laser
of
day.
Kathleen, my favorite shot, one of my favorite shots in the movie, Kathleen going through the lasers. That was done. That was done with, I dare
crazy,
say,
yeah.
it was literally,
I think it was like 11, 10 people
Chris,
on set. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the DP, Chris, Kathleen, myself, and a couple other people, and this laser beam. And our DP, what he did was he literally counted in his mind. He had this like a
metronome. Yeah.
And he literally counted the steps. We had this 50-foot rail, and he would literally he walked and then re-walked the same motion about 20 times, and every time Kathleen would go through and do a different section of the heist, and then in visual effects he was able to piece it together. So
wow.
Wow,
that's cool.
Natasha, who is your DP. It's amazing.
Wow, that is cool. And that, and you know, in that whole sequence, it was funny, like, because for me, not knowing what you guys just told me about how you managed to really come together as a team, which doesn't always happen. To me, not knowing that, I thought one reason I really understood these characters and their bonds together was that you put them together and they all shared a life and death situation with each other. So no matter if they liked each other at the end, they still had that bond because they went through that together. Let alone that you guys were able to all work together, which is not always easy, right? Because you have people from other countries, maybe are they just grabbing a paycheck? You don't know. So it's good to hear that came together like that.
Mm.
I feel like everyone wanted to be there, and like more and more as the movie even went on, we just everyone wanted to be there. It was such fun.
It was actually kind of weird, and Carlo, I think it was you who said that it was like filming three different movies, because we had one part of the movie was with our gang of thieves. One part of the movie was with William, but it was like William and Carlo literally high-fived as they left the country, because William left and then Carlo came in. We literally filmed three separate movies and then pieced it together, but they were never there together because they never played in the same scene.
Right.
Like the transitions through those things felt seamless. Like it was such a like beautiful burst of energy to have you come in, Carlo. Like I remember that was about halfway through or so, and it was just like it was so cool to get this, to get you in there. But it all felt like cool, and like the different like modes of the
Yeah.
different locations and
Yeah.
stuff really just
I'm
flowed.
gonna, as I said in the green room, I'm gonna give like another amazing shout out to Hamilton though, because I was absolutely, I'd shot a feature in Hamilton. It's like 7 years or 8 years earlier, and it was like a weird feature that I shot just after I just got married at the time, and my wife was actually cast in this thing, and I didn't want to be separated from her, so I phoned my agent. I said, "Is there anything I can do on this other feature? I'll do anything, craft services, anything." And so I went to Hamilton, and it was like it was okay, but it wasn't. I wouldn't call it a glorious experience. I asked the production to give me a car so I could escape and get back to Toronto to have a coffee or whatever, whenever I wanted to. This time, there's no way I wanted to leave Hamilton. Hamilton has blossomed like some gorgeous woman who's come into her own. She's like it's great there. I mean, there's the people are great, the restaurants are great, there's great locations. And I think that added to, I mean, for me, it did, I never left Hamilton. I think that production actually organized the car for me, and I never saw it because we stayed in Hamilton the whole time. The cast, we were absolutely in sync,
Yeah.
and it was great. I arrived.
Totally.
It was a little bit intoxicating actually, because you don't usually expect that from this kind of budgeted independence. It's often very awkward, and there's like people just trying things out. But no, it was super professionally run. Hamilton was brilliant, and what can I say? I have great memories about it.
As like a Hamiltonian, I feel like I mean, I've always loved it, even in the years that maybe weren't so attractive to outsiders. But it was like such a joy to have to be there with this group of people, and to be kind of like, it is that summer camp thing, Christopher. Like I think you said that we're all together in a place that none of us live anymore, but yeah, the whole dynamic just worked really, really well. And again, I think that just like starts at the top with you guys and the team you put together, and the all the feelings and energy you brought to it, and then getting these great, like incredible people like Carlo and
Wow. So
like,
okay,
yeah.
we've heard lots of amazing things about everything, and Hamilton getting very deserved shout outs. I spent lots of last summer there. Carlo, you're right. The food is insanely good there.
Yeah.
So many
Okay.
good restaurants, which is my thing. But were there any, especially because you're working on limited budget, were there any big challenges, or what? Because let me say, Kayla on Facebook's asking actually, what was the biggest challenge you ran into during the entire production? Like, what was that big mountain that you had to get over?
Minus 15 degrees.
Yeah.
Exterior.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, geez. This is what we had. We had beautiful weather the whole time. Beautiful weather, right? This is November of 2017. There happened to be one night. It was, I think, like November 15th or 16th. And it was the coldest night on record that Hamilton had ever seen, ever.
Yeah.
And it was our outdoor scene.
The only outdoor night scene, yeah.
It was the fight scene. It was the fight scene.
Yeah,
outside.
and I would say that might align. It kind of dovetails with another challenge that you had. That you edited masterfully and shot.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. There it is. Oh my gosh.
That's Carlo in a water.
That was a hot water bottle that I kept
We would
in my
just
hand.
hold the hot water bottles. Gia and I just had our little baby. We called them our babies. But I think the Michael Hawke, who plays Rowan in the film, who's just like as wonderful a human as he is an actor, but he has some pretty humiliating footage of Gia and I practicing the fights, because neither Gia nor I are like, shall we say, martial artists, or maybe even dancers, I don't know, but like getting those fight sequences down for me, I think, was one of the most challenging things. And I, like, Jesse, you shot it and cut it in a way that I look so badass. I can't even.
Well,
like
you were badass because you did
I mean, that is some movie magic, and the stunt team was awesome too. But like that to me was like a little miracle that you
Kathleen, you were badass in that. I watched the beginning again just now, or earlier tonight, and I was watching with my 5-year-old daughter. And right at the beginning, when you grabbed him in an arm lock, you grab Michael in some arm bar or whatever, my daughter's like, is he a bad guy? She was on your side right away, but she was like, oh, she's badass. She knew right away. It was pretty cool.
That's some movie magic. Magic right there.
Totally
Gia and Kathleen, they went out and they rehearsed, and they had an amazing stunt team. Johnny Keynes was the stunt coordinator, and the 2 stunt people who were there, who were doubling you guys, but they went out, they learned the routine, and thank God they did, because on that night we had 2 cameras rolling and we had 2 takes each, and that was it.
Yeah.
And
Really?
we did not cut. It was about a 12-minute, just did not cut in each direction, right? And because it was that cold, it was freezing, but they did it.
Well done. Well done. I think that's all from Facebook. And but guys, thank you so much for being part of the CFF this year and sticking with us while we tried to figure things out from our cancellation a week and a half before the festival, and joining us here on Super Channel. It really means a lot to us that you did do that, because we wanted you as part of the lineup, and it's such a fun, exciting, entertaining movie. And thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for showcasing us. I know with everything kind of changing over the last couple months due to COVID-19, it's been up, it's been down for our industry in general, across the board, worldwide, and it's nice to kind of take a moment and reflect on how we all got to spend so much time together and shoot this movie, and then to kind of reunite, to present it here and to showcase it. It was fun watching it, and I know that I have so many friends and family that were watching it worldwide and being so supportive. So it was awesome that Cannes Film Fest and Super Channel were able to put this together. So
you're very welcome anytime, and we look forward to anything you guys do in the future. That it was an honor having you guys on board. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To our audience out there in internet land, thank you for joining us for our Q&A for the Canadian Film Fest. We hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to bid you adieu now, but we've got a ton of great movies starting. Wait, is it Friday today or is it Saturday?
Saturday.
It's Saturday.
I'll say Saturday. Like with everybody, I'm forgetting what day it is. So it's next week. We start again on Friday with another great screening, and then we even go into the next week. So please check Super Channel listings for what's up, or our website for what's in our lineup next. Anyways, thank you very much. Thanks to the cast and crew of A Perfect Plan, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
We'll all wave bye. Bye, guys. Cheers.
Hello, my name is Wendy Potonsky, and I'm the managing partner and owner of Retake Furniture Rentals. Retake is once again a proud supporter of the Canadian Film Festival and is working to contribute to the Canadian film and TV industry by making it an easy and sustainable place to do business. Retake understands the importance of set design and the dynamic nature of the film and TV industry, which is why we created a company to specifically support Canadian filmmakers. Retake provides sustainable short and long-term furniture rental options to meet production schedules and product needs. Our in-house upholstery services can tailor our product to meet your set design requirements and match your color schemes. We use sustainable approaches to minimize product going to landfill when you no longer need the furniture on your set. Retake can also assist you in setting up your office with sustainable alternatives to keep your team working safely as we all head back to work during this unprecedented time. Our goal is to help you create memorable sets. Stay safe, everyone, and enjoy the films and shorts at this year's Canadian Film Festival.